The guerrillas are using a new species of BOW. Command is calling them Javo. They are extremely intelligent, incredibly strong, and have the ability to mutate in response to physical trauma.
All right, you know the drill. Split into 3 teams. Move out! You got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Javo are some of the most complex enemies that we've ever seen in a Resident Evil game, let alone the game they hail from, Resident Evil 6. Javo are an incredibly versatile group of enemies infected with the C virus, an extraordinary virus that can do anything from heal your arm if it gets blown off, to cocooning your entire body for a complete transformation. Javo are also exceptional soldiers, capable of wielding firearms, and they even have near human levels of brain functionality to get the job done. The story of the Javo as we know it begins with a woman named Carla Radamez, a childhood prodigy with an astonishing knack for genetics. When Carla was only 15 years old, she completed a doctorate course in her preferred field of genetics, and was noticed by a man named Derek Simmons, who took the young girl under his wing. Simmons introduced the young scholar into the world of bioorganic weapons, and it wasn't long before she began manufacturing her own viruses and BOWs. Her impeccable work in the field didn't go unnoticed by Simmons, and he would shower her with praise, which only increased her desire to impress him. In 2001, Carla began work on her greatest creation yet, the C virus, or chrysalid virus, a derivative of the T. veronica virus as well as the G virus. Carla expanded on certain aspects that made the T. veronica virus so powerful, while fixing certain glaring issues such as its ability to cause brain cell damage. Testing with the virus began over the next several years, with Simmons feeding Carla thousands of test subjects for her to work with. These trials with the virus saw bountiful results. Carla's unparalleled skill in the field of genetics allowed her to create many different strands of the virus, each with various combat capabilities and uses. Unfortunately, however, this prowess with the virus would be Carla's undoing. Derek Simmons was obsessed with a certain woman named Ada Wong, a former associate of his which he had fallen for during the 1990s. Carla was tasked with using the versatility of the virus to bring to life a clone of Simmons' obsession, but for a long time this achievement eluded her, until 2009 when Carla herself was used as the final unwilling guinea pig to bring Simmons' desire to life. Carla's transformation was a success, a nearly indistinguishable copy of the infamous Ada Wong. But, unfortunately for Simmons, Carla retained some of her memories, and over time, more and more of her old psyche came back to her. She eventually escaped the clutches of Derek C. Simmons, and in her rage formed the organization Neo Umbrella, its sole purpose being to take revenge on her former mentor. With this new organization, Carla began work in acting her revenge, testing her virus in the field and trying to improve its capabilities. The first known trace of this testing came in Edonia. Carla, or Ada as she was now calling herself, was secretly giving the C virus to insurgents to administer it to their mercenary fighters. These mutated combatants would come to be known as Javo, a term derived from the Serbian word for demon. Carla would provide these fighters with the virus and take notes on the mutations that they would inevitably have. This information on the virus was invaluable for Carla, and she used it in preparation for her ultimate plan to get revenge on Derek Simmons, a plan that involved the complete destabilization of the entire world.
Simmons would never be foolish enough to show his cards. He and his family want one thing: to stabilize and sustain the system they've created. But you want to destroy it. And the world will blame you.
As stated, Javo are a very versatile group of BOWs, and are very smart as well, making them an extremely dangerous foe to go up against. Once a human has been infected with the C virus, they will lose all self-control, and though they will still retain the ability to wield weapons and even communicate with their fellow soldiers in their native language, the infected individual will generally blindly follow the last order that they were given before they were infected, having no regard for their well-being as they pursue that end. Another important thing to note about the Javo is that they are in a constantly feverish state, and the more damage that the host receives, the hotter that they will become. Once enough damage has been done to the host and they succumb to their wounds, they will either be completely engulfed in flames in preparation for metamorphosis, or they will seemingly evaporate as a result of the heat. However, getting these creatures to that point is easier said than done, as the Javo have an incredibly high tolerance for pain. The virus has given these creatures the ability to mutate in response to any trauma that they may encounter, with the virus attempting to fix the affected body part and replace the normal human tissue with chitinous insect-like appendages. And all that is assuming that you're able to get to the Javo before the virus has managed to completely mutate its host. Given enough time, the virus will continue to mutate the host until its entire body is covered by a tough, cocoon-like shell. Inside this chrysalid, the virus will completely dissolve the host's body and remold it into an all-new manner of beast, to the point where these creatures aren't even classified as Javo anymore. The Javo are among the most complex creatures to have ever come out of the world of Resident Evil, with so many different things to know about them and their conception that there will always be more that you can learn. Born from the brilliant mind of a young girl who was led astray by a deranged man, the Javo are the ultimate soldiers to have on the battlefield, capable of taking incredible amounts of damage and even transforming mid-battle. These are not a BOW that you want to see coming at you on the front lines.